Let me check.
I'm not seeing anything.
I don't see it yet. Some. I'm not
Something.
getting any sound from the stream here. Oh, never mind. Why can't you just get it right, Cloud?
I just uploaded OBS. All right.
Why can't you just get it right, Cloud?
I just
Hey,
there we
Cloud, which
go.
headphones are those?
These are the what is it? The Logitech the 933s. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I'm a Logitech fanboy at heart. What's up, people? It is your boy Dark Cloud, and we are back again with the Switch Podcast. We have our new regular back for the second time and continuing on. As you guys know, we don't do this every week. We do this once every other week because this is a Nintendo podcast, which at some point we're probably going to branch off and talk about other things in the gaming media, which is important to talk about because Nintendo isn't the only one in the media space when it comes to gaming. Plus, we all play everything. I can't think of Takun not getting a Tails game because it's not on the Switch. So he can lie to y'all all he wants, but we know the truth.
I mean, Tales of Arise, man. Have you seen it? It looks amazing.
It does look amazing. I have started. Well, I'll let you guys. So, Kent, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everybody what you do, the type of games you play, and what you obviously plan to bring to the channel.
Hi, everybody. This is formerly Fragmented. You can call me Pharaohs for now on. I am hoping to add a sense of dignity to an otherwise unorthodox podcast. I'm joking. But no, I do want to add my own flair to the podcast and just a sense of honesty. I want to be upfront, direct. As a gamer, I tend to play everything. I have every console on the market currently, and I'm also an avid collector of classic consoles. So, with that note, just kind of a well-rounded approach is what I want to bring to you guys, and hopefully you're entertained. Thanks.
And you all know Takun, the co-host. Um, Tell everybody what you've been up to, man.
So channel's been kind of quiet for a little bit just because the news has been really dying down now that we're in the season when all the games are coming out. And I had a week vacation, so I was gone for that. And it's amazing, all this new stuff. I was telling, what do we call this guy? Pharaohs. Yeah. Telling him, like, all this new stuff's coming out, like, all these games I need to play, and I'm replaying through Pokemon Heart Gold right now because all this new Pokemon stuff coming out. It's like, you know what? Pokemon games on the DS were the best. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, those were the best ones. So I just went back and replayed it.
Yep. I have been, as you can see on screen, what I've been recently most playing: The Witcher, Dragon Quest XI, and Ni no Kuni. But I have to play in the claw position because thumb's broken. So if you could see, I literally have to play with my goddamn non-thumb fingers. So that sucks. I have been on a spiritual change. Been kind of like sitting back. I just went through the Four Agreements book. Just basically getting a better lock on life. Not wasting my time and just basically doing things I love. So I started skating again, getting pretty goddamn good at it, starting over. And just been basically just like reading books. Right now I'm reading The Mutt from Rodney Mullen. Everybody should know that that's my role model. I kind of look up to him. And that's kind of what I've been doing and, whatever. So it's been a minute. We haven't uploaded video. New video that's coming to the channel pretty soon. My birthday's coming up October 26th, so I'm not sure when I can get it out, but I'm trying to get it out before then. Of The Witcher, I call it the blurred edition. Gameplay, comparing that to the PS4, and then showing you guys what it looks like with my M Classic. And that kind of leads us right into the first topic. So, Witcher is on Switch. People are buying it. People are supporting the hell out of it, and you can't knock them for that. As a matter of fact, Cory Balrog, the director and creator of God of War, says that The Witcher on Switch is some sort of dark sorcery. Basically, should not have happened, could not have happened. So even him, and he plays the Switch. As a matter of fact, he has a Switch Lite, and he's basically like mouth dropped, like excited, like he, and everyone calls it the Switcher, so I'm gonna call it the Switcher 3, whatever. But he's super excited about it. As a matter of fact, I have it, and I know Pharaohs has it, and it's the exact same game. All 35 gigs of the card is loaded with the game. You don't have to download any DLC. You don't have to. There's a 400 megabyte or 350 megabyte download. I guess that's all patches that for the Switch for the very first download, and after that, that's it. It's the exact same game, same everything, nothing's missing, and it looks pretty damn good. Why did I just go live? Candace, I'm live right now. Everyone's live, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, but Ferris, tell us what you think of the game, because I know you've played it on other consoles and other devices.
Yeah, I've had the luxury of playing it on the Xbox One X and now the Switch, and it's a masterwork. I mean, I'm still taken aback by how they got the game on the system and just how like spot on of a conversion it is. The Xbox One X is pure eye candy when you play it at 60 frames per second and in 4K. And even with that, the Switch, even with its smaller screen, still holds up. And there's nothing lost. You have one for one in terms of enemies, people on screen, NPCs that is, and yeah, I mean the action, everything is just spot on. It's If you haven't played this game, I highly suggest you go out and grab it. If you're a fan of Zelda, it's not going to replace Zelda by any means, but it is a strong partner to Zelda in terms of being masterworks on 3D gaming on the Switch. So that's my take.
Yeah, it's the same game, and playing it, there's little to no input lag from the controllers, because that was one of the things as I was going to be pretty sad about. There is one drawback, because they had to downscale audio. I'm only getting front, center, and sub. I'm not getting any 5.1 or 7.1.4 audio through my receiver. So, again, another drawback for the Switch edition.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you're not getting full like audio like you would normally.
That sucks. I haven't even thought about playing it on my big screen and on my 5.1 surround. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. This is not the first time this has happened. I think this also happened. I can't remember what game, but I know I spoke about it. Oh yeah, Astral Chain is only 2 channel. There and a sub. That's it. There's no center support. Nothing. Like that's yeah. So that's one of the things that's sucked about these Switch games that's been coming out. So what's it called? Dragon Quest 11 though supports full audio. It sounds pretty absolutely amazing. It would have
I have
to.
heard that one.
Yeah, they've had to basically do that, dropping the orchestra edition on there, or But yeah, that's another drawback from the Switcher. I'm hoping that there's an update patch that fixes that.
Speaking of,
Go ahead.
I had a question real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Have you encountered any bugs in this game?
No, I haven't encountered anything yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not that far into the game. I'm probably about maybe an hour. I've just been running around killing random stuff, leveling up. So
That's the way to play this game.
Yeah.
And no, I'm about 3 hours into it, doing the exact same thing. I just cleared the first map, but no, I've encountered several bugs. Nothing game breaking, but just random like wonky things. Like talking to an NPC merchant and then him asking to see his wares like 20 times in a row and never proceeding any further.
Yeah. I didn't. I didn't. I hope that's a fix because I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with that. Another thing on this on The Witcher is there is a mod for hacked switches to allow you to get 60 FPS, and it's real. It's real. It's out there. I'll put it in the description. I'll put it in the chat. But yeah, so there's this jailbreak for the Switch that allows them to take full advantage of the Tegra chip, and basically get the game to be at 60. And he was in Novigraph, and basically the game was not dropping below 60. It was like around like 60 55. But what they did do was take off motion blur, and they also dropped the game to 540p and left it staying at 540p, as you can see on screen there, and it's running at 60 handheld mode on the Switch. So you got to give it up to CD Projekt Red for what they did with this game, because this is an ambitious port, and it's kind of like and from what I'm hearing, it's the PC port, that version that they ported down, and took away some features. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, but if you have a Jimmy Rig Switch, you can do so. You can push that bad boy to 60.
Yeah, I'll say this. I don't have The Witcher 3, haven't played it, blah, blah, this and that. But without a doubt, this just goes to show that if there is a will, there is a way. Just having this even run on the Switch is a miracle. And then these hackers, they got it running at 60 FPS. It's amazing, isn't it? Remember back in the Wii U days, we couldn't get it ported, nothing for nothing. Even though plenty of games were capable of running on the Wii U, it's just there's no point because there was no money. Money talks, man. I'll leave it at that.
Cloud, are they overclocking? I didn't get a chance to watch that video. Are they overclocking the Switch to get that?
Did we lose him?
I can't. Yeah, we can't hear you, Cloud. We see you talking, but we can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me now?
More technical difficulties. Isn't this wonderful?
Oh my god.
Oh, and I don't even have a list of topics. That's all Cloud today. So I can't even pretend to move on to the next thing.
You. Alright, let's. Fucking bullshit.
Ladies and gents, we apologize for this minor inconvenience. We're working to get this thing back up and running.
We ain't doing nothing. That's all. Cloud's streaming it.
Alright, can y'all hear me now? Am I back? Am I back? Can y'all hear me? You. Come on, man.
I can see his frustration.
Right. Enter elevator music here.
Yo, can y'all hear me again?
You know what? While he's doing that, what's been going on with you, Pharaohs? What besides?
Oh yeah, I never said what I was playing, did I?
I don't think so.
I am playing, as always, a little bit of everything. Which is going to run into my grinding my gears segment at the end of the podcast. But no, I've been playing mostly Final Fantasy 14, Witcher 3. I recently purchased Overwatch on Switch, so I'm playing that as well. But I haven't gotten too far in Overwatch because I'm honestly not the hugest PvPer. I love Blizzard as a company. Huge fan of them as a developer. I'm a avid World of Warcraft player as well. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of everything is what I'm gonna say. I know that's a weak answer, everybody, but it is the honest truth.
You're never gonna be another video game again. You're just gonna out up and start new stuff.
Oh my god, fucking Christ!
There you go.
All right.
Hey, no cursing on stream.
Zach,
Yeah.
you were missed. Trust me. Most people clicked off already and turned the podcast off.
Dude, why am I
Oh
having
no,
these technical? Why is Microsoft doing this? I know I just uploaded OBS, but go ahead.
because you literally fanboy every other video game company except Microsoft.
You know what? I'm pretty sure Mike Ibarra has left, and and they just saw my tweet to him. So yeah, somebody's attacking me from Microsoft. So I hate you all. So go ahead, Cam. Finish what you were saying before we jump back into the topic of how they overclock this.
I think you did.
It's Pharaoh, sir. But
Pharaohs.
yeah, I guess so. Tycoon here. I've been playing a bit of everything. I have recently today. I've spent a large chunk of the day playing. We I almost said we fit you, but Ring Adventure. What is it called? Is it called Switch Ring?
No,
Switch?
Ring Fit
Ring
Adventures.
Fit.
Ring Fit.
Adventure.
Ring Fit Adventure. Okay, sorry. I'm so tired. You guys have no idea. But yeah, Ring Fit Adventure today, yesterday, the day before that, and we're gonna get into that at some point. But that's what I've been playing.
Yeah. That's I have not gotten Ring Fit. It's only $79, and I still have Gamers Unlock at Best Buy, so I'm probably gonna pick it up at a discounted price. Um, but finishing this up, yeah. So for all the Witcher fans, they literally overclocked the GPU and all that jazz. So we can move right over to Ring Fit Adventures. It's been getting some pretty good review scores. As a matter of fact, let's look that up on Ring Fit. Ooh, I can't spell today. It's right now. It's at a 78 on Metacritic's, and user scores are giving it an 8.6.
That's really good.
That's
That's
really
infinitely better than we all thought it would be.
from where this came from, right? From the joke that we thought this was, from the video from Taku and putting out there saying we don't know what this is. What is this Nintendo? To literally, it was shown off on like the 15th of last month, September, and
Yeah,
then
it was like a month ago. It
yep,
was very short.
and then it comes out, and it's people love it. People are playing it, and a lot of people, even some of the guys at IGN, are saying that the game is kicking their butt because it's constant movement, constant squatting, constant and so I gotta give Nintendo kudos for this, and it from according to a lot of people, including Takun, they're basically saying that it's sold out. It's not sold out in my area, in the Sacramento area in California. Some Best Buys have none, but yeah, there's a lot of them out there. There's not a lot of them out there. I think you have to order. You have to order yours online. I think it is.
Yeah, I ended up ordering mine through Amazon, so it should show up like tomorrow or Tuesday, which is very disappointing because I wanted to get it on launch day and have a video up,
Yeah.
probably like yesterday or today. But it is what it is, man. I underestimated it. It was sold out in the places I went to. So I even stooped as low as going to GameStop, and they didn't
I'm
have it. So
I'm also hearing from the grapevine that this game is moving units. Is this a Wii move? A Wii move all over again? Like what was it called? The Wii Fit all over again?
nah, man, I think it might be
Possibly.
better.
Yeah, possibly better. So I don't have it. Ferris, you're the only one that has it. So, from is all that truth like real? Is it constant movement? Are the strap on your legs versus the disc is how is that?
Okay. So I try to keep this brief, but it is constant movement with a catch. The game, for large portions of the game, will stop to let you go at your own pace, but it does encourage constant movement. Unlike Wii Fit, where you really had no control. If you were doing a stepping exercise and you stopped, you just failed and you saw a bunch of misses and all that stuff. And it was very disheartening if you were tired just to see yourself failing at something. But with this game, it encourages you every step of the way to take your time, to not go too fast, to just do what you want to do. In terms of the ring itself, you're going to be there's a lot of squeezing and pulling and aiming in directions, which is all tracked via motion sensors within the Joy-Con themselves and the ring fit. And then so the strap tracks your leg movement. And it's funny because if you can't cheat it, people have been trying to cheat it online. I was recently watching the CNET review, which if you haven't watched it, it's hilarious. I highly encourage you to watch it. That and Tycoon's review when it goes up. But yeah, you could try to trick it. Like for example, there's a crunch style mini game, if you will. When you lay on your back, it lets you put the ring down and discard it for a second. Yeah, she's hilarious. When you lay on your back and put your legs up, if you don't go back far enough, it'll yell at you and say, "Hey, wait a second, go back further. Hey, try harder." Not to the point where you're feeling it, but just to the point where it lets you know, "Hey, we see what you're doing. You're cheating. Do it right."
That's crazy. So this is This is a testament to Nintendo's the Joy-Cons of how well they work with gyroscope, all of those things. This is definitely
and there's HD Rumble too, guys.
And there's HD Rumble too. So this is a testament to their controller and all of those little things that they put inside that controller. Because the guy was basically saying they don't know how, but it's tracking how far his legs are away from the ring, the actual ring itself. And when he was doing like lunges, it was like no, you didn't lunge all the way. You get some points, but not all of it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And sorry.
I wanted to ask Pharos about have you done the infrared like sensor for tracking your pulse and heart rate and all that?
Oh God! Oh yes! Oh my God! We could talk about this for an hour. For the way, guys, I love Ring Fit Adventure, hands down, one of my favorite games of the year. So, okay,
See, I gotta go buy it tomorrow now.
Let's go.
There's two things I want to address. First and foremost, this is a action adventure game that you play with exercise, which is an ingenious thing in itself. So in the game itself, when you're running, there's a track that you run down, say like through a forest or through the mountains, you name it, and you're stopped occasionally by enemies. These enemies trigger exercise battles, which is what you're seeing on the screen. You basically pick through a selection of attacks that you yourself unlock and you can customize to your liking, and you pick through these 5 attacks and you do like Cloud said, if you're doing the moves correctly, you'll get pretty much your perfect damage amount, which is your full damage spec. And by the way, there are levels, so as you level, all your stats go up, including damage, resistance, hearts, like you would in Zelda. All this is there. When you're done with any major activity in the game, it asks you, do you want to check your heart rate, which is what you were asking, Tycoon, and you place your right thumb over the sensor, the camera sensor, and you, I kid you not, as someone who himself has to go to doctors on a regular basis, it tracks perfectly. It tracks your heart rate down to a T, and it tells you if your heart rate's too high, it'll tell you to take a break, rest, go sit down. But yeah, outside of that, it's an amazing game. People, go get this game.
I wanted to, man. It's not that easy.
Hey, I got a question for you. How is the strap, the quality of the strap, and the quality of the ring?
Oh, great question. Okay, the ring. I have no idea what sorcery Nintendo has pulled to make this ring work. But you can squeeze the living crap out of it. Like I'm honestly waiting to see somebody go online and break it, because I don't see how they're gonna do it without cheating and having some like machinery do it, because it's honest to God, it's the most durable thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like Nintendo, man.
And in terms of the strap's replaceable. I believe it's washable as well. Don't quote me on. I'm looking at it right now. I'm pretty sure it's washable. But no, the strap's basically just a holder. It's a holder. It's all it is. It goes around your leg. The magic in that is all being tracked by the actual Joy-Con itself. But you can actually buy replacements for it online, like Amazon. They're not name brand, but they're the same thing. If you ever lose yours or want to get additional one, I'm actually in the market for a second one myself, but all my stores are sold out, and Amazon is on back order right now.
Wait for Ring
That's
Fit?
wild.
Yes.
What? I would go to
On Amazon's
Amazon,
out
but
right
it's
now.
it's it's got my name on there, and I'm not about to give that away.
Oh, let me look it up. Let me
Use a
look up
different monitor,
Amazon right
dude.
now.
Honestly,
All right,
look at it.
I'll go to a different monitor. I'll go on my iPad. That's crazy. Nintendo literally just launched a gold mine secretively. Again, they showed a crazy, weird-looking trailer on September 15th. It's out on the 15th, and a month later, and it's getting reviewed well, and it's selling
Ah,
well.
crap. Did this audio cut out again?
Yeah, we lost you again, sir.
Mother.
Not sure what
Ah,
happened.
damn.
Hey
But
guys, while we're waiting on Cloud, I just want to say this. Um, the game itself is a feat of magic because I personally hate exercise. Like I really hate it. I mean something to me. The only thing worse than eating salad is exercising. And so this game completely erases all of that. It totally like you'll play it nonstop and you'll try to do better just so you can get to the
Mm-hmm.
next stage, the next boss, the next enemy, then just the next event or unlock the next skill. And it's just fun. Imagine if you're playing any game that you like that involves experience points or just leveling up. Imagine if you were leveling up, but you're literally leveling up in real life. That's what this game is. You're playing an RPG, but you're the hero, you're the character, and it's not even 3D. It's almost 4D in that respect. You know, it's you're leveling up. I can't say it better. You're leveling up in real life.
I'm telling you, man, Nintendo fanboys are going to be the master race if we all just get Ring Fit and play it every day.
And just
We're going to
get
be all
super
like,
fit.
you're damn
There you
right.
go.
We'll be the most in shape gamers, man. I'm telling you.
I
It'll
think
be
something's
great.
going on with my Yeti, so I'm just going to use the headset from my 933s. They seem to be
Oh,
reliable at all times.
that
I
sucks. Well,
I'm
what I was going to say before you moved on from this topic is Eric's Gaming has a video on the Ring Fit where he brings his personal trainer onto the channel, and they both go back and forth playing the game. And the personal trainer is like, "Yeah, this is a workout.
mm-hmm.
I
Uh,
mean, you're not going to get like super buff or anything. You're not going to get like massive gains, but if your goal is to just move
core
around, exercise, burn calories, and that stuff,
core strength
yeah,
is way more important than getting bulked up muscles. I'm definitely going to use it with my Apple Watch and basically see the amount of calories I burn in like a 30-minute time. Are there before we move on, are there levels of like how you could play the game? Like you know how some RPGs you could start off at like hard difficulty. Are there
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When you first start the game up, it actually runs you through a very brief, say, 5 minute tutorial tops that has you it basically lets you customize the ring fit's tension to your level of strength. So
Hmm.
if you're really strong and want to challenge, you want to play it like say Demon Souls, Dark Souls, you could do that. Dark Souls exercising game and play it at the master difficulty. Or if you want to take it, super easy, like I don't know, think of an easy game. I'm losing my parodies here, but and my analogies, but yeah, it's just you could play it uh, as easy as you want or as hard as you want, and you do that within the first 5 minutes.
So real quick, version 1.0 update came out for this, adding online feature adds friends ranking and weekly world ranking in a quick play ranking. They've also added the ability to give add gifts to friends, multitasking
Correct.
mode. So I don't know.
Oh, multitasking mode.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Okay, can I say this one last part? I apologize, people who are listening
Now I
in
love the
AirPods.
excitement, man.
Silky voice. But no, this is a situation. So, okay, imagine this. Okay, there's two things I want to address here that Nintendo did. I don't know how they did it, but hats off to them for doing this. Okay, first of all, you can set alarms, which I've never seen the Switch do, which is the most insane thing in the world. So what it does, it gives you the option to set a 7-day alarm customized to what time you want to appear, one time per day. And what it does is, if your system is anywhere near you, it basically turns your system on to let you see the screen and tells you that your alarm's going off. and asks you, do you want to start the game up and start exercising? Even if the game's totally shut down, not in your console, doesn't matter. It just pops up. It's like, how did they do that? So that's awesome. I wish they did that with the other games too. And lastly, the what was I going to say? The what was the other question you had, Cloud?
It was just like the online features that they added. So they're showing you a support switch alarm function you went over. New functionality
Oh
restart the
yeah,
adventure
the
from the beginning.
multi-purpose, right?
Yeah,
Okay, multi-purpose was the other one I wanted to touch on. So multi-purpose allows you to put your game in sleep mode. Or sorry, you put your system into sleep mode, and then on your, I believe it's right Joy-Con, you're gonna click in on the analog stick, and it turns the Joy-Con on. At this point, the Joy-Con can be used with the ring accessory by itself, with the system totally powered off, and it tracks how many pumps you do or squeezes or pulls you do with the ring fit. And when you get back to your game later on, it actually lets you transfer these as points, currency, if you will, and experience points over to the game. It helps you level up, helps you unlock stuff, and yeah, you can play it sitting on the couch, at the dinner table, in the car. Don't do that, but yeah, anywhere you want, and it's awesome. And it tracks up to, I believe, 600 plus pumps.
damn. Okay, wow.
Joy Cons is a lot more impressive than they all originally thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Joy Cons adds a lot. Sleeping on like what Joy Cons were to what this is allowing. I don't know if there's any technology in the actual ring itself or anything that's connecting to the legs, but I don't. Again, I don't know what sorcery is going on for it to know how far your legs are away, or if it's using the gyroscope. But apparently, people have been trying to just bend their leg all the way and not pulling it all the way back. So I don't know what sorcery they're doing. So for all the people that just say like, just add this feature in the Joy Cons, and that's why Joy Cons are $79. This is a perfect testament of why they are the way they are.
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's interesting because if we look at the other systems, like no other system like out of the box is going to be able to pull this off, right? Like you get the Switch and then you get the Ring Fit and you have it. But if like for some reason Sony or Microsoft wanted to try to do their version of it, they'd have to basically invent new controllers as far
yeah.
as their systems go to be able to do this.
Hmm.
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
So the originality, the functionality, just the whole concept, everything just like coming together so nicely is amazing. And then of course all the good reviews, and then people, obviously saying, hey, like this is a workout, it's fun, this and that. It's very interesting to see, and I wish I could experience it for myself, but it was sold out. So rip.
Speaking of which, Sony's coming out with their own version of HD Rumble. They're calling it haptic Rumble in their PlayStation 5, and I want to see what that is like. And they're adding it hip tech and resistive features in their triggers too. So we'll see. But I hope they come out with new Joy-Con. I mean Joy-Cons with new controllers for the VR that add stuff like this, because a lot of that stuff are really cool. For all the people that have said like there have been people that said that the Joy Cons themselves, the HD Rumble is not really implemented in a lot of games, but I start to wonder if they play a lot of games, because a lot of games, including Grid Autosport, when you're driving over like rocky roads, you feel it, and it feels like you're in a car driving over rocky things. So
it feels so nice. Does
it does, and at first I was like, "The hell's wrong with my?" Then I'm like, "Oh, I'm driving over like, the floor, how the
gravel.
roads are in no, you know how the roads are in like the UK where it's like cement, it's like bricks. There's
Oh
race,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, there's races where it's like that, and you feel every single vibration as it's bumping over like that. So that's when people say things like that, I'm like, You feel it in Splatoon. You feel it in random games that are not Nintendo games. You feel it in Dark Souls when you get hit when you use the shield. There's specific things you feel as you play that. So that's pretty cool. And again, I don't think a lot of people play these things. They just speak on it with no knowledge. So yeah, so
And that HD Rumble is in a handheld. Like none of the handhelds in the past had Rumble, unless we count that for the DS. But yeah, it is amazing. The tech and the controls are awesome. And if Sony's gonna do their own version of HD Rumble, I'm all for it because really that's about like the next step in controllers. I feel
mhm.
because I think overall the design, the button layouts, the sticks, and everything, I don't think those are going to change too much. We got them pretty much right where we like them. So, um, taking things to the next level as far as the other features in controllers go, I think is going to be the next gen step for both Sony and Microsoft.
I don't think Microsoft has announced anything like this. Mark Cerny
They
went into
should.
detail talking about like when you're running through mud, you feel the sluggishness in the character's movement. So that's pretty dope to do that on like a. I want to know how that's if that's gonna help kill the battery because if you're basically feeling that with your character as you run, I don't know, man, because I don't think the Switch does that on character footstep movements. I think they do it on like different things like well, there was a shooter I was playing on the Switch, and when you start shooting a rifle, the vibration sounds different. I don't know what it was. There's
That's
a
dope though.
yeah. But moving on to some more Switch rumors. So this comes from Nvidia. And a lot of people have heard about this. There's even like if you go to Wikipedia, if you look at patents and stuff like that. This is a real thing. So rumor has it that NVIDIA's new Tegra X1 chip could make its way, could make the performance of the Switch up to 25% faster. And again, this is rumors to the Switch Pro. I think the Wall Street Journal even covered this, saying that there's another Switch coming because it's already being made in China or wherever they're at to avoid tariffs. And this would be pretty awesome because the Nvidia Shield TV Pro allows it to be up to 25% faster, getting enjoying Netflix, Video Prime, Vudu, 4K, Dolby Vision, and HDR, obviously because it's Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos, digital audio plus audio surround sound, and as well as upscaling videos to 4K. Um, if Nintendo gets this, because let's just be real, there's this closed box thing that people try to avoid, and they don't understand this mentality. Like I get it, the Nvidia Shield is a pretty awesome thing, but it's not closed box. It's not the closed box system where like a PlayStation or an Xbox. How with little to with that Jaguar CPU that's like miles slower than a freaking Daewoo is pulling off games in 4K. So this chip being able to support 4K video up to 25% and all this other stuff, putting this in the Switch would help big time. I would love to see them add Bluetooth. I got some really nice what is it, Sony WF 3 W1000 M3s that are really nice noise canceling and they're pretty good with audio chat playback. I would love to see Nintendo implement that in the Switch Pro, like Bluetooth capability. I don't want to buy dongle, man. Like I was just talking to Takun about this. Like the amount of accessories and stuff that you buy for the Switch, it's very money consuming. A Pro controller, more Joy Cons, memory cards, more than one memory card, cases, different docks for different rooms, the amount of games you buy. Like it's, I would love to see
Oh,
them.
don't forget your M Classic.
Oh yeah, the M Classic. Yeah, that's $100 investment, but I only paid 60 something bucks for two of them. But what do you guys think about like this new rumored chip from Nvidia of the Tegra X1 Plus?
I'll
Uh,
let Pharaoh's jump in there and get his in before I go in and because I think I'll have a different take on it than the rest of y'all.
Okay, sounds fair. So for me, I personally hope that this rumor is not true. I would like to see Nintendo wait another generational leap in Tegra processor technology in order to combat or stay relevant, I should say, against the PlayStation 5 and the next Xbox. The Switch is firing on all cylinders right now. It's doing things people never dreamed it could do. So I think for right now, in between as this generation with the Xbox and PS4 come to an end, and we begin to usher in the next generation, the Switch is sitting pretty right now. It's getting all the games people either loved or love currently or about to love when they come out day one with other system releases, and they're able to pick and choose to play their game on the go anywhere they want, or sit at home on their 4K TVs and play, or do both like me. And I really think Nintendo should just wait, kind of play the wait and see card, make sure they get get the rights to the Integra chips, and yeah, and when the next generation comes around, I don't expect my Nintendo Switch Pro to be able to do even 4K graphics, but to do rock solid 1080p with like some of the bells and whistles of the next generation would be awesome. But yeah, that's my take on it.
So what I think about this is, um, to an extent, I do agree with if they really want to stay relevant long term, probably just ride this current model out, and then with the next generation Tegra chip come swinging full force. But there is they can implement this if it's a huge quality of life improvement, not just to like the games, high resolution, better frame rate, but if we see things that we haven't seen on the Switch, if we get cross game voice chat that's done because we have a better processor now, if we get, like Cloud said, some Bluetooth features that we can start using because of this, then I think that will definitely have a market if we can get like the better audio out of it. Just small improvements in the features of the games, the system itself. I think it would definitely be worth calling it a Switch Pro if they add this in there and actually take advantage of it outside of games. 20%. That is a good that is a good jump. The real concern would be if they implemented this Tegra chip and then said, okay, we have games that are Switch Pro exclusive, like you can't run this on the regular Switch. That would kind of that split the demographic and cause a problem. But like I said, I'd be all for it if we got the features and just in general the games were able to run at better frame rates and resolution we would get now on the current Switch.
Yeah, I was looking up some stuff, and from what I'm seeing, I'm kind of agreeing with you guys now because this chip is just clocked better. It's not even jumping to a 16 nanometer chip, so it's still a 20 nanometer chip. So that the lower the nanometers, basically the more compute power that this thing can handle at all at once. So yeah, 25% in what? What particular is 20% better in? Is I mean, when they're comparing this, they're comparing it to the performance of the Nvidia Shield Pro. And none of this is talking about gaming. This is all talking about 4K upscaling in movies. And we all know that video games and movies, they may cost the same amount to make, but they're completely different beasts. A movie is basically the same thing as it renders movements all the exact same time versus billions of pixels and shaders and polygons moving at your whim at any second of the day, and audio being able to scale with that motion as well as either nighttime and daytime cycle and stuff like that. Um,
And don't forget AI. Like
yeah,
that's a
then AI.
bitch.
Yeah,
That's a resource drainer right there. If people
exactly,
actually program
exactly.
AI.
And with a 16 nanometer chip, you're looking at better frame rates too, because remember this is an APU, so it's a CPU with a graphics card together. It's like a built-in like processor for your like a processor type for PC, like whatever. I'm like all over the place, but you guys get what I'm saying. So I after reading and looking this up, I was a little excited, but it's not really much to go off of. Like again, 4K movies and videos versus 4K gaming is a completely different beast.
Yeah,
So
the only other thing I could think of is improve the battery life even more. But uh,
mm,
I don't know. Like I said, just it'd have to do a lot more than just frame rate and resolutions to make people really want it.
mhm. Yeah, they definitely need more. Like I could care. It'd be nice to have better audio support, but I would prefer for Nintendo to wait, just like you guys. So sorry.
What
That
the
was
hell
a
was that?
that was a womanly sneeze. Don't come at me.
Bless you.
Klaus said that's how I sneeze. Don't at me.
Yeah, that was a very womanly sneeze. Yeah, y'all leave me alone, man. Yo, T Mac, I miss AGS because I was out doing some stuff, skating and dealing with some family things. So yeah, I'll be on AGS
You
next
said
week.
AGS doesn't bring in the same joy as skating.
Oh well, that's a fact. Everybody knows that. I can disappear for days and go skating. Yeah. In other news, again, Nintendo has won NPD month after month after month after month, and adding to that, they have hit over 15 million units in North America. I don't know where they're at for, and again, like I said, I've heard Ring Fit is a system seller. So I don't know, man. Like I don't know where this thing is at the moment, but over 15 million and winning NPD. I want to see what Nintendo does and brings out the actual like sales numbers. Again, sales numbers don't matter to me, but to some people, I don't like when people say sales numbers don't matter because sales numbers matter, especially when in video games and in units. Because if you don't sell that much systems, you don't sell that many units in games, you don't get sequels. You don't have money for funding in games. So I get it. We're not all business majors here. I mean, I am by nature of what I do for a living, but those type of things coincide with each other. Like if the last Zelda Breath of the Wild only sold maybe 500,000 copies, it's going to be a minute before we see another sequel. It would have been a minute.
Well,
So
we wouldn't have got the Breath of the Wild 2, that's for sure.
yeah, so that type of stuff matters. System sellers, are basically making EA keep their eye on the Switch. Activision, I get it, you guys don't like them, but you would be hard pressed idiot to not take advantage of 15 million. I mean, 37, 40 million, almost 50 million Switches out there in the world. And like we talked about like last week, not last week, the week before, that people will go back and buy games on the Switch because it's portable, because they can move around, because you can take a game on the pooper. So, people will go out of their way to rebuy these things. So, and then when it comes to like indie games and older games, just look at like farm what is it? I keep forgetting. Stardew Valley. Way more sales of Stardew Valley than anything combined with PC, even when it's like $1 being bought on the Switch. So, I'll let you Pharaohs go in on this like sales. How do you feel about 15 million in North America?
Hats off to Nintendo. Congratulations, guys, to all the hard workers who are pushing this system and its amazing games out to the masses. I'm ecstatic that Nintendo has achieved such amazing success this generation. It is well earned. It is. I think this time around it probably won't go to their head like it did with the Wii. Um, but yeah, I'm happy for them. And also, guys, in the listening audience who are here live and giving us your precious time If you guys have any questions towards the end of the podcast, please post them in the chat so we can read them out and answer your questions. You can aim it at Cloud or myself or the one and only Mr. Tycoon, and we'll be happy to answer. That's all for me.
I don't know, it'd be a good 7 tats at the end of it. But yeah, so building off what Cloud was saying, we don't like to look at sales numbers as a be all end all because it's kind of not, but they definitely matter because, like you said, if your software doesn't sell enough, you don't get sequels, or you just get sequels that go in a completely different direction, sometimes a different genre entirely. And for hardware, as we've seen in the past, if you don't sell enough hardware, you just don't get games. So it is good to see that it's sold over 15 million in North America, which eclipses the lifetime sales of the Wii U. So that is amazing. And looking at the Wii U sales, it's not saying much, but we're only like 2.5 years in. So this is definitely a job well done. It's Nintendo kind of using their creativeness to create a system with a gimmick that people actually enjoy, that actually enhances the gaming experience. It's not cumbersome. That's not like we have to go out of our way to specifically make a game for Nintendo because they decided to be. And it's good. I want to see this direction going forward, where we don't see Nintendo left out because they're busy doing their own thing. It's this case where Nintendo's doing their own thing, but not in a way where it's inconvenient for companies to take a look at their system.
I'll throw in a curveball on this, and so it basically hit me. It's also going to go into the next topic once we get. Yeah, that's fine. Uh, is sometimes too much sales also stopping growth in innovation? Because if we look at Pokemon Sword and Shield, and we just look at Pokemon sales, all the people that had problems with Pokemon's on 3DS that said that they didn't really do anything, they didn't change anything, still selling millions. When you look at Game Freak, and Game Freak is like, yeah, they can be in moan, but they're not actually, they're still buying the game. So we're going to keep rehashing. And you look at like the Pokemon Sword and Shield right now, you got people that's bitching and moaning again, sorry for words, but they're gonna buy the game. And I'm one of those people that's bitching and moaning, and like a dummy, I'm gonna buy both of them when they come out.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm not gonna buy both, but I'm definitely gonna buy it. I have a complete Pokedex. I can't stop now. I have to get all new stuff. So yeah, that's how they get me. But I feel like the last time we saw any real innovation was Generations 4 and 5, the DS games, the DS era. And it was funny because I remember back in those days, I was sitting there telling myself, it's like, how many damn games are you going to put on this DS? Like, this is ridiculous. Let's move on to 3DS. And then we got 3DS games. I'm like, it's like that keyboard meme. It's like, fuck, go back. Yeah, that was me after the 3DS games came out. Just the amount of features and innovations, the gameplay tweaks, the mechanic changes that we saw from that generation that made sense, pushed the series forward, and was easy to grasp. Everyone got it, and it was all good. I miss that. I miss that. Like all the stuff we see now is just they're changing things for the sake of changing things, and it's not a lot of it really complements Pokemon, gameplay philosophy.
Yeah. You and we've got my boy Ravage Slick. He's basically saying that he buys Nintendo for their exclusives only. But again, I'm gonna need Ferris to comment on that. Like, do you feel that sometimes we don't put our money where our mouth is? And yeah, you can have great sales, but that pushes developers to not take the next leap. And there's been arguments where they say if you don't buy the game, the developer knows what they have to do. And if you do buy the game, they pay attention to your complaints. But if you look at Game Freak, they don't care. So Ferris, go ahead.
Ferris?
I think is he still here?
Okay, yeah, I'm here. Sorry, your mic cut out. Your mic cut out for me for a second.
Uh,
But no, you're right, Cloud. As gamers, we vote and we speak to companies not so much with our complaints, but with our wallets. It's something that I've always believed in. It's going far back as the Wii era. I went out of my way to buy as many exclusives, and to be honest, there were a lot of exclusives on the Wii. I mean, most of its library was actually exclusive to that console, and I bought as many games as I could. I think by the end of that generation, I had maybe like 180 games for the Wii around the time that it ended. And yeah, I mean, you have to be willing to take a chance on a game, and not just the exclusives. I mean, if that was the case, we be where we were with the last generation, I believe. So no, I don't believe that's the proper way to communicate to companies. You could go on your own personal strikes and say, "Oh, well, I'm not going to buy this game or that game," but at the end of the day, when they put their games out, they have their teams port these games to our system of choice, and they don't sell. That's a red flag as a business. You're not going to continue to put games on a console where your product isn't moving. Uh, so yeah, if you want Nintendo to continue to get new games, I'm not telling you to go out and buy anything and everything, but if there's a game that you like that you're interested in, get it on a sale. It doesn't have to be day one, but just give it a try. And there's also demos too you can try too. So don't be afraid to try those out.
That's right. I still haven't even downloaded Resident Evil 5 or 6 demos. But adding on to this whole, you know, topic of buying third-party games so we can see more third-party games, I totally get that mentality. I used to do it all the time. I really did. But now I'm more selective with. In the case of a certain company that has a lot of controversy around, I did not buy Overwatch on the Switch like I was originally planning on doing. And we'll get more into those details later
tell him I
here
said
in
to go
this
take a shower.
podcast. Yeah, we'll get into those details later. But there are some instances, I believe, where not buying a game and putting your money where your mouth is does speak volumes if enough people do it. And even if enough people don't do it, I'm still going to stand by my opinions, my beliefs, and spend my money how I choose to. So I'll leave that at that.
Yeah. And the last two pieces before we head on over to the last thing Takun just brought up is if you're a fan of the GameCube style controller, Switch gets a Joy-Con GameCube Joy-Con style inspired controller. On Amazon, if you click on Amazon, I'll put the link in the description. These are $59, no wireless capability. This is perfect for people that play Smash on the go that need that controller. I've never been a fan of the GameCube controller. I've only been a fan of the GameCube controller only for when it's playing for Smash. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of what the GameCube controller has become now. But
Yeah.
as far as GameCube Joy Cons, I'm not so sure how I feel about it. The button layout of a GameCube controller being on a Joy-Con seems a little weird to me. Obviously, I haven't played with one, so I can't say for sure. But the GameCube controls, it really just specifically was designed for that one controller. The way the ABXY button layout is. So um, I don't see how much this is gonna. I don't see this really moving many units at all because, like Cloud said, it basically has become a Smash controller. And when you're playing Smash, uh, most of the time you're not really playing single player. It's a game you sit down, you play with your friends, and I just don't see it. I just don't see that being a thing. Playing with GameCube Joy Cons in handheld mode could just be me though.
Yeah. Um, Little Town Heroes is getting review brigaded because Uh, because people are upset at Game Freak for giving this game new visuals or wasting any development time on this game, because they're upset that Pokemon is reusing some of the animations. People are saying that the grass and the trees look way better in Little Town Hero versus Pokemon that's coming out, and that's a more ambitious and a larger budget scale project. And people are literally going out of their ways and to review bomb this game just because of that. And it's pretty sad, man. It's pretty sad because I've seen mixed reviews where people are saying that they actually like the game, and then there are some people that are just being fanboys and saying, nah, screw that, it's total trash. So what's your take on this? The review bomb brigade because of this. Do you think it's called for? Pharaohs?
Honestly, this game initially, I don't like it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I looked into it extensively to see if it was for me, but based on what I've seen, the nature and structure of the game, how combat's done with incorporating the whole town, while ingenious, a lot of reviews that I've seen have called the game overly grindy and difficult for no reason and merciless. And I don't have time for that. I mean, I play MMOs. If I'm going to grind, it's going to be somewhere where I feel it counts. Or playing my exercise game and grinding in real life. Wink.
As a matter of fact, here's one from Metacriticer. Matt, they spent all their resources on this instead of the next generation of their bread and butter, and they gave it a 0. Game Freak should avoid making trash like this instead of allocating their proper resources to produce a polished, complete Pokemon game. They gave it a 1. Like, so they're not even playing this game. But I will say that that's surprising when Pharos is not picking up a game, because I don't know where he gets all this money from. I heard he's been stripping lately, but he's literally buys every game, and to see him skip this, I'm definitely gonna have to skip this myself. So Takun, how do you feel about the review brigade? Do you think it's worth it? If you've never played the game, I mean, what's your take on this, man?
I don't know if there's really a take. It was one of those things where everyone's excited for it. I was like, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see what's special about this game. It seems really generic. And when they first revealed it, there was like nothing shown. So I don't know what that was about. And then they announced like the game takes place in this one town. I was like, that's
Mm.
not. Nothing about the game looked good to me, ever at any point. So
I
that,
will add to
that's
that. When I play a game that's supposed to be the RPG style game, I want to be able to move around. This thing looks like a Mario Party map checkerboard system to get from area to area. So it just looks grindy and pointless. So I get it.
exactly.
It looks cool. It looks a little bit more advanced than Pokemon, but I don't think they really put that much resource into it. You can tell by the way the game looks, there's not that much resource that went into it. You can make any CG game, look pretty if you're not going to have any open world environment, if you're in the same exact town where all the fights happen in the same looking area. And I heard that there's one of the people you find in these games fight in this game is a person that you know and you train with, and you fight him more than you fight any bosses, like, and multiple, sometimes more than once, more than 3 times in one fight scene. So I don't think there's a lot of money allocated to this. So I don't agree with the review bombing, but the game it just doesn't look good. I mean, there's out of the reviews. I mean, the user reviews. There's 36 positive, 5 mixed, and 44 negative. And as we can see from the negative, their negativity is not valid. You know.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that we'll touch on before grind my gears is Overwatch. It's a little bit of a disappointment, regardless of the Blizzard thing that's going on. The game only runs at 30. when you've got a game like Paladin that looks good at 900p at 60 frames per second and has its legs already on the Switch and it's free, I don't know what Blizzard is doing. Uh, I've seen Digital Foundry stuff. It's dynamic resolution, and apparently it drops pretty bad. I don't know what those guys over at that made Paladins. I don't know what they're doing, but hey, it's I'd rather play that for free or buy a pass for that on new characters than put any money into a game that's only 30. I'm tired of 30 FPS shooters, man. It's called for when it's that type of game, but when it's like a straight up like fast-paced shooter that you've used to on PS4 and PC to go to 30 knowing that there's other games that run at 60 on this, that's kind of a disappointment and Bethesda needs to fix this. Especially when you got a game like The Witcher on the Switch running at 30 locked. Come on, man. So I'll let you guys chime in, Takun and Pharaohs.
I'll let Ferals go in on it first because we're gonna have to segue into a whole lot of other stuff revolving the game that made this company. So yeah, let him get it in first.
There to me, there's not much to say. I don't like talking about a game too much that I haven't had an extensive amount of time with. I've played Overwatch on PC and on console, like Xbox and not PS4, but yeah, I played this game probably a total of like 20 minutes just to see how it ran because I was in the middle of playing Witcher at the time, and because they came out the same day. And yeah, I mean it's functional. It looks nice. It runs smooth. I didn't notice any major dips in the frame rate, and I did notice the dynamic res, and the dynamic res can take a hit during major moments of action. But yeah, it's a good game. In terms of what they're doing different to Paladin, well, the biggest difference is Overwatch is good, and I'll leave it at that.
I lost you, unless no one can hear them. Did I lose
Can you
y'all?
guys can you guys hear me?
All right, you're back now. You're back now.
I'm just getting back.
The last thing you heard was comparing Paladins to Overwatch.
Oh no, no. I'm just saying that in my personal opinion, I don't like Paladins. I played it. I think it's hot garbage. Yeah, Overwatch to me for that genre is the bee's knees, and having it on Switch is a godsend. And correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe somebody's hurt. Maybe somebody else remembers seeing this. I want to say at the beginning of the Switch's lifespan, one of the Blizz devs said that Overwatch couldn't be done on the Switch. I almost swear to God I saw that, and I find that hilarious. How these so many devs are eating their words and having to put their games on the Switch because it's a Goliath right now.
I don't know if they said that. I think they said they wanted to put it on the Switch, and they were selling us to tell Nintendo to make it happen. Maybe one of the devs see that, but I did see a lot of people saying that some of the developers of Overwatch saying that they want to bring it to the Switch. It'd be a perfect system, but they wanted us to complain to Nintendo to make it happen. So that's what I remember reading.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
so
it was something like that.
Going on Blizzard. Go ahead, man. I already know what you got.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a super hot topic in the gaming industry right now, and it's the reason why I didn't get Overwatch on Switch is because of this huge controversy with I guess, former pro Hearthstone player Blitzchung, where he won a Hearthstone tournament, and then afterwards, in the interview, he was on stream, and because he lives in Hong Kong, and they have a bunch of wild stuff going on over there, the protests, and basically uh, being oppressed by China because China, I don't know how to say it, they like own Hong Kong more or less, whatever. So he basically came on. He said, oh gosh, what was the exact quote?
Did he say
Where
something like free China? Free
yeah,
China?
no, he said free Hong Kong, and for someone who is physically there and has to live through it every day, I totally get why he said that. And it doesn't resonate with most of us in the rest of the world because we haven't experienced anything like that. But we can definitely empathize with what's happening, and as Americans and Activision Blizzard being an American company, we should be all about that, like freedom of speech. But they went ahead. They originally, like straight up, banned this dude for a year, and because he won the tournament, he said they were telling him like you're not going to get the tournament winnings, and oh, it was ridiculous. It was wild. And the two casters that happened to be on said this. It's funny because they actually like got up and walked away when they saw that he was taking it in that direction. But no, even the casters, they got permanently banned. Now that was the original sentence. There was insane amounts of backlash, ungodly amounts of backlash. So
I think he ended up getting the prize money anyways, but he's still banned.
yeah, he ended up getting the prize money, and the ban is 6 months instead of a year. And I think both the casters now have a 6 month ban, even though they literally did nothing. So that was not enough because it was just the whole idea of any sort of negative backlash at all is insane. Blizzard saying like, "Hey, we have this rule that says if you offend any group of people or we deem anything inappropriate for our streams, we can deal out whatever punishment we want." It's very vaguely worded if you go and look at it.
That
So that's basically what they were hiding behind, and it's very hypocritical of Blizzard because right now they're pissing off everyone. They are offending everyone that's not the Chinese government. And in addition to that, what was the other thing?
a lot of people have been canceling their Bethesda accounts. They've been
Oh
canceling
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
subscriptions and stuff like that.
People have been deleting their games, deleting their accounts,
I think
and
even
BlizzCon is coming up. Yeah, even Congress got involved.
yeah,
Not
but you're forgetting one big thing. There was supposed to be an event on the 16th of October that Blizzard was supposed to do with Nintendo, and they canceled it in New York.
right. Oh, that was a mess because it was canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard never said anything. Literally, Nintendo's official Twitter had to come out and say that, yeah, this event was canceled by Blizzard. And, if you read it, it just seems like a very normal tweet. But if you think about it, Nintendo threw them under the bus. Because if it was just canceled and they had good relations with Activision Blizzard, they just say, hey, the event's canceled. Sorry. But they said it's canceled by Blizzard. And I think Nintendo might have taken that a bit personally because there was nothing from Blizzard's end where they announced that it was canceled. So I guess they just left Nintendo to do the dirty work. Are you guys just not going to tell anyone? And they had to tweet it out. So
Remember when what's it called? Remember when Ubisoft didn't tell anybody that they canceled Steep, the snowboarding game, and it was on the Nintendo shop website for like months, and they didn't even tell Nintendo.
oh
uh,
yeah, I think it was on their website.
yeah, it was on their website for a while until somebody tweeted Nintendo, and then they just took it down. Yeah, but yeah, that sucks, man. Like, I don't know
Oh
what's
no,
up
no,
with
no.
I don't know what's up with
The,
Blizzard, but they
the
also
story doesn't end there, my friend.
it's
Because as of like 2 days ago, Congress, members from both the Democrat and Republican Party, got together to write a letter to Bobby Kotick, who's the CEO of Activision Blizzard, telling him like, "Hey, you're an American company. We totally get there's a butt ton of money in China to be made, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can go around just like censoring people because they disagree with Chinese government. It's like you're an American company, you should stand for American values. That includes freedom of speech."
yep.
So they basically said you should release all punishments from Mr. Chung, and just let that slide. And then, like I said, we got BlizzCon coming up less than 2 weeks. I think it starts on November 1st.
Hmm.
So we'll see what kind of protest comes about of that. And there's a lot more to this story. Like this whole Activision Blizzard situation, really out of control. Probably the worst PR nightmare they didn't even know they could have. So
They did it to themselves. I don't think they should
they
put
really
stick
did.
themselves in any type of gaming politics, or just politics in general. You're a gaming company. You let China deal with those people on their own accords. You don't step in. You mind your freaking business. Um, but then again, I can't say that because remember when Nintendo went ahead and removed the gay pride flag from what is it, Smash Brothers, when people were making like pride flags. So I can't, I got to keep that same energy. I mean, I supported that, but again, when it comes to like politics and things like that, that's a touchy topic, and that could hurt you in the long run. Not to mention, Blizzard has not been having a good track record lately. They've literally pissed off the Diablo fans, making their next Diablo game a freaking cell phone game. So, that pissed off a lot of people too, and now you do this type of stuff. You're only digging yourself into a hole. Just because you have the name Blizzard doesn't mean you are untouchable. And that leads us into what grinds my gears. And I'm going to let you guys start this off. So either Ferris or Taku can go first. So go for it.
Taku can go first once.
Oh, well. I mean, I guess just kind of building off my previous rant with Blizzard is that say what you mean what you say, right? Because there's instances where Blizzard totally supports political stances and everything, and they openly speak about it on their social media. But as soon as someone says something that could fear or that could interfere with money, then it's a problem. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but with Overwatch, there's a lot of pandering they do, a lot of going out their way to make sure they try to appeal to everyone. The LVG, okay, I don't know the abbreviations, but like,
The
you know what
alpha,
I'm saying?
they're called the alphabet people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a lot to that.
Like
You know,
one of the ones that they did was announcing Tracer's sexuality, and I'm like, there's no story to this game. Why do I care? I don't care if
yeah, it
anybody's
was.
straight. Or
I think that
or
was after the game already came out.
uh-huh.
They just kind of like add that stuff in. But you see what I'm saying? Like they'll do that, but then as soon as, like I said, Blitzchung says something that could offend the Chinese overlords, they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, you can't say that. We don't do that around here. So I just really like to see these companies stop being so two-faced about everything.
Mm.
All right. What I have to talk about is tame in comparison to what you guys are talking about. So I apologize for not having much to say in terms of that topic. But I do believe Blizzard should stay out of politics and as American company stand up for American values, et cetera, et cetera. But I have two topics today that grab my gears. I'll start off with the first one, which is minor and less controversial. Um, games, games that come out during the holidays. I was talking to Cloud recently via texting, and we were talking about how there are too many games out. There are too many games, too many good games that are out right now, and it baffles me that we have 12 months in a year, yet for some odd reason, there's like a 5 month period, three in the fall and two in the early parts of our winter at the beginning of the year, where there are a crap ton of games, big AAA titles coming out back to back to back to back to back, and even some really amazing indie games. And I find myself, even me, the guy who air quotes buys everything, I honestly I have to pick and choose now, and it sucks because I'm definitely about the hype train. I definitely buy into it. I drank the Kool Aid as they say. Um, but yeah, it sucks. I really wish that game companies would spread these games out. There's no reason why we have so many dead months during the year. The Switch has been active. I'll give you that the entire year, but in terms of like Sony and Xbox and even the Switches, holiday titles, what about June or May or April? You know, you get where I'm saying. It's just there's other months you could put these games at. I shouldn't have to budget my games and scale them down from like I kid you. I'll let you guys know a secret. So at the beginning of the holiday season, roughly around September, August, maybe give or take, I start a list. I make a list of all the games that I know that are coming out, and I budget my games. I'll say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna buy this game now, this game then. I'll buy this game on launch day. I'll pre-order this other game, and and gotta go from there. But I have to budget my games out. I mean, because that's my favorite, part time pastime, I should say, activity. And yeah, it just sucks. It's uncalled for and unnecessary that these games come out in these bunches and during these limited time frames, September to November or December to December, and it was January or February to March roughly, and it's just dumb and it just drives me crazy. So that's my first topic. Do you guys have anything to add to that before I go on?
I have something to add to that. It's because of these damn gamers that complain about games and games taking too long to come out. You remember back in the day when there was just maybe three major bangers that came out a year? Now it's just
Yeah,
too much. It's like I get like these dudes, and not to take jabs at like for people that like I know personally. Like I remember one of my best friends, Scarface. This dude waited years for Metal Gear Solid 4. Years. He followed. He went up. I don't know. Somehow he went to Japan and met Kojima. And the day the game came out, he finished it the same day. I'm
oh my
like,
god.
bro, I can't do that. I want to savor the moment. Like and then they're like, I need MGS5. I'm like, bro, calm down. Like it's people have been begging for these games, and then they get pissed off when these games come out broken. Games take 5, 6, 7 years to come out. Oh, I need another Last of Us. I need like the amount of people that was literally attacking what's this called? Neil Druckmann about another Last of Us game. Like it's ridiculous, and it's because of these damn these companies pandering to these idiots. Some of these dudes don't even finish these games. They hype them up, they buy them, they never finish them. You know what I'm saying? Or they
Yeah,
buy the game, they finish it immediately, then they're like, "Oh, I need the next thing. I need the next thing." Like, bro, I get it. Gaming has gotten much bigger than what it was before, but there's too many games. There's way too many Call of Duties coming out. There are way too many shooters, and all of these games coming out too frequently for us to enjoy what games are. You remember when people used to do completions, and not even completions. The hell with like a platinum trophy, going back and playing Final Fantasy VII, getting Pandora's box, something you had to get by accident or go look for, read every single story. People don't do that no more. They rush through the story. Oh, I beat that game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
yeah.
these developers are pandering to the wrong people. The hardcore gamers want to spend time into these games. That's why I'm glad and happy that MMOs still exist. Yeah, so I'm sorry that was really that I've been preaching that for a while. Too many games, too many games. But what grinds my gears? Taco, did you want to add anything to Pharaoh's what grinds his gears?
I mean, you're both right. It's just like the game industry has grown so much. So many games are coming out. You can't keep track of all the releases. You can't do it anymore. I gave up trying, but no, he's right. It's just all the games are either like end of the year holiday season the beginning of the year within like that window from January to March, and then the rest of the year is just dry. I am glad that Nintendo for the Switch has, they haven't gone crazy, but they've released games over summer and like kind of the later spring. They kind of paced them out much better for Switch releases. But I just wish other companies would get on.
Hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with all that. Slow down, Bethesda. Everybody that's listening, cool your horses, cool your jets. If these people have to wait and perfect the game, like I'll add one last thing. Go back to shooters that came out last year and see who's playing them. Go back to multiplayer games that's not Fortnite and see if people are even playing them anymore. Game servers are closing way too fast because there's too many games coming out to even go. You have any idea how much money servers take to keep up running? But I remember when people would be like, "Oh, I still play Modern Warfare 3." That type of shit doesn't happen anymore. Um,
I think sorry, one of the solutions to that is cross gameplay.
that.
So
Hmm.
instead of a game dying out just because no one plays it on one, uh, having all the systems together in one community more or less, I think would help with the longevity of some of the games. But
Hmm.
it's like you said, there's still the overall problem. There's just way too many games coming out way too quick, and it seems like everyone is on this multiplayer kind of like gold rush right now. Everyone's trying to make the next big multiplayer game, and if your game does not hit big and you go that route, it's going to fall flat hard.
Yep. Uh.
A lot of people set themselves up for failure doing that.
Mm-hmm. What grinds my gears is lack of features in Nintendo that people don't want to address because it's their perfect little box. Bluetooth, Joy-Con drift, lack of storage prices. I think a 1 terabyte is basically the price of two Switches. Um, and a lot of some of these games nowadays from third-party developers aren't releasing physical copies. So, like, look at the Blizzard right now. They tell you to go buy a. I'm sorry, I'm about to get real pissed. They go tell you to go buy a box that has a digital code in it. Yo, my ninja. Who do you think I am? Like, why would I go? I get I'm a collector, but I collect the cartridges. I collect the CDs. I collect physical items. And the reason I collect is because they're memories. You got people like Heartache that sells those games and get rid of them. Like, God forbid his trophies gets erased. There's no memory anymore. All you can say is that I did have these games at one point in my life. That's it. To me, these are memories I can go back and play. I can play them. But to tell me to go buy a physical case and give me a digital effing code, bro. You know who else did this? Bethesda with Wolfenstein. Bro, I was so pissed. I did not buy the game because, bro, that game is like what 27 gigs to download. Like, come on, man. Like, they know that the Switch lacks memory. Like, you know that memory in a micro SD is dirt cheap. What the hell? Like, I don't care if you're gonna release a game on the Switch, buy the 35 gig card. I don't care what you have to pay, or just don't bring it at all, because people don't have space, and in a world where it's going to be digital and you're going to have like game saves or like let's say game streaming, when someone decides to drop the license of that game, if you accidentally delete it, you are effed beyond belief. It is gone. There's not a single thing you could do about it. When you own the cartridge, you do not need to be online. So, lack of features, taking advantage of gamers because your title has a name behind it, pisses me the hell off. Um, and it's 2019, man. Cell phones don't even have headphone jacks anymore. Nintendo. I only own wireless headsets. Do something. Anybody want to add to that?
Nah, that was fire, as they say. I agree with you. Hands down. It's for those of us who want to collect and build our physical libraries, which I'm kind of one foot in, one foot out that category. But yeah, I definitely when you go to buy a game and the disc or cartridge or whatever has should be in there. You should not find a code uh, for you to go download the title. That should be sold online only, and don't bait people in stores with yeah false advertising. Say here, come get this game physical copy, and it's not there. So yeah, that sucks. I definitely agree with that. I had another topic. I'm not sure if you guys have time for it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Taco, did you want to
just
throw anything on my grinding gears before we do this last topic?
yeah, I download everything, as you guys know, so I don't feel the pain like y'all do when it comes to physical games or lack of games for some releases. But I will stand by what you're saying about if you're going to release a physical game, release a physical game. Like there's so many times, especially for the Switch here, we've seen like collections come out or like this and that, and there's a physical cartridge, but it only has like one of the two or three games on the collection. You have to download the rest. Like that's messed up.
Yeah. Well,
That's messed up.
who else did?
Final Fantasy.
Bayonetta, Final Fantasy, Bayonetta 2 did that when they
Okay,
said it
there
was
was
there,
Bayonetta, there was
and
uh,
Capcom did it too with Mega Man.
yeah, there was the Mega Man
Yeah.
collections. There was Activision with the Spyro. I think they changed that because before originally they were going to game on the cartridge, but I think they changed it. Don't quote me on that. But their original plan was just to have Spyro Enter the Dragon on the cartridge, and everything else you have to download. And like I said, if you're going to go the physical route, do it. Don't half-ass it.
Yep. Yeah, they stop playing with my emotions and stop releasing race games on the Switch and not release another Pro controller or a controller that supports analog triggers. I'm sorry, but we'll go on to your let's see what Pharaohs has to bring to the table, and this will be our last topic today, people.
Yeah, sorry guys for
No,
dragging
no,
this
no,
on.
no, no. This is good, man. This is
Uh,
good.
this is okay. I honestly, guy, I had three topics. I'm only gonna do one more just for the sake of time. So, here's the situation. If you go to Digital Foundry's YouTube page and look up one of their recent reviews, or not reviews, but one of the games they covered called Star Citizen. Are you familiar with it, Dark Claw?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, uh, Digital Foundry's Alex Battaglia a long video covering the lifespan of this game and how started as a crowdfunding campaign and how it still grows to this day, still in alpha years later. And he was marveling at the specs required to play the game, running at a decent frame rate and really taking advantage of all the bells and whistles that the game has to offer. And yeah, I just I'm against this game. I mean, I am one of the biggest sci-fi fans out there. I love sci-fi. If I could be in a sci-fi world or any other, I would take it. I would leave you guys behind, go to the future, and yeah, blog about my adventures in the past with you guys. But yeah, I honestly, got I love science fiction. But my problem with this game is the fact that, and this is going to infringe on the master race people out there. Now, I'm a PC gamer as well. I have a gaming PC. It is neither cheap nor crappy. It's I would say it's probably mid upper range in terms of power. Maybe so I could play all the games that are currently out at 1440p 60, and that's pretty comfortable for me, and I'm happy with that. But the issue I have with this review, if you could, you're actually watching it now. So the issue I have with this, and Alex's opinion, and I respect him as a gaming journalist. But I disagree with what he was where he was going. He was kind of really focusing on this power hungry game that will constantly upgrade, constantly push for the best possible visuals in a game. But based on the technology that's out, like whatever graphics card or processors you have on the market, they're always going to hit that upper benchmark of those or what they're capable of with this game. That is this game's goal. This game is going to be a PC exclusive. It will never appear on consoles, according to the developers. And with that, their limits are quite honestly limitless. And what I don't like about it, what grinds my gears about this situation, is that I don't believe in the, so to speak, closed-minded, closed-gated community of PC gamers, where if you're not spending thousands upon thousands of dollars to upgrade your console, I'm sorry, upgrade your gig
Rig.
every year,
Yeah.
every rig, yeah, sorry, rig every year, it you're left behind, and I don't approve of that. To me that's I forget my language. That's ass backwards. It's closed minded. It's suffocating the industry as a whole. It promotes a very, I don't know, single minded mindset that if I have more money than you, I have a better computer than you, I'm better than you. I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but to me, games like that only exist to be that benchmark and don't downscale, don't have any level of range. Like one of the big things I love about aside to bring these guys back up again, Blizzard and WoW is that WoW still runs on crappy old computers. I have a laptop that's like 7 or 8 years old, and it still runs the game at at 60 frames per second or more. And it's because they maximize their games development. They make it so it ranges between the highest height of the highest that we can actually do in terms of our graphic processors, and also the lowest. Everybody's accounted for, and that's the way I think all gaming should be. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I don't know if you guys have anything to
No,
add to
no, no.
this, or I
I
just
agree with
rambles
that.
on for too long. But because honestly, I'm tripping over my own thoughts because there's so much about this that I want to talk about. This probably should have been a topic I brought up earlier, but because of my tardiness,
Nah, you
I would
good,
have been
man.
able to bring it to the forefront. But yeah, it's just something that I don't approve of. I'm a PC gamer, but I don't believe in master race mentality. So,
I think that's a strong measuring mentality. Uh, and I don't really agree with that. I agree that they keep upgrading the game. That's cool to basically keep going forward. But that mentality of saying that, this game will only be on PC because this game requires the best of best rigs, and that's the mentality that they have, I think that's dumb. Any real hardcore and PC gamer, any real hardcore PC gamer, the guys that go out and buy specific rigs for the type of games that they play, they know you do not need a 2080 Ti. They know you do not need a 9900K processor or 64 gigs of RAM. They know you don't need that. In these, this is a small era, a small cluster F of those PC enthusiasts, or I call them PC racist, that feel that if you still have a 1080 Ti, then you're poor. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I could still get 4K. I can still get it 1440p, 144 hertz. You know what I'm saying? Like that graphics card that literally costs 2 grand, the Titan XP or whatever the hell the ray tracing one is, it's it still buckles under ray tracing. So spitting that trash when we know for a fact these video cards are costing more and more compared to what the 1080 Ti is now and what it did to what the 2080 Ti is doing and the price that it's at, they're only embracing and pushing a market of dumb shenanigans to continue going in the video card world. Because again, I went into the PC realm thinking that I need the best of the best. I need the 9900K. I need 64 gigs of RAM. I need two 2080 Ti's. But you know the sad part about that is regardless of that build, I'm never gonna get the best of every game. Because we're at the buckle and the knee bending over the developers to basically make sure that this game is not patched incorrectly. Like, look at Ubisoft. Look at any of their third person shooters games. Look at the Division. Regardless of what video card you had, I remember when the Division came out, the 1080 Ti just came out. You couldn't even do 4K. You couldn't even do 4K. So that mindset is dumb because it's price per performance, and with today's video cards, we're not getting price for performance. It's a schlong measuring mentality. That's all it is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. You have to keep in mind, like, software is not going to keep up with, even if you get like the latest and greatest. Like, software is not optimized for it, and there's never ever going to be a game that goes all out for the highest end PC because that is such a small market, and the amount of money to put in to make a game that would take advantage of whatever cutting edge technology is out there, it wouldn't be worth it at all. You're not going to see it happen. So going for the highest end stuff, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But don't act like you're better than everyone else, just because you have it, when you're not. You're only using a small fraction of whatever you have going on because of the way they make games. They have to be optimized to work not on every PC, but on enough PCs to justify making the game.
And with the PC and the PC development, they don't optimize games the way that they do for console. Like when I was talking earlier about the closed box system, these consoles do so much for what crap hardware is in them. In the PC world, they just basically, oh, there's this video card out there. We'll throw that out there. We'll throw that out there. They just throw more and more at them without optimizing. If PC gaming was optimized the way that video cards were optimized, not to mention you have like big screen mode where it shuts off everything. There's no execute files running in the background. If there was a console that was built with the hardware that I have right now, and PC literally did what the system's capable of doing, video games would be at the games that we get on PC would be astronomically better. But the problem that all these dumb, I got the money gamer, you're not better than me, is not paying attention to is that they're treating the PC as just throw more at them. They're not optimizing, they're not taking advantage of it. You're not getting your full's worth out of the system, out of your video card. Anybody thinks that is stupid.
Preach.
Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, like I know I asked a little late. Thanks for all the people that came through. Ravishing, Spider-Man, T-Mac, Glories, Ric Flair, all these guys that came through. We definitely jumped up in subscribers. We gained over 60 to 70 subscribers as of the last video, and I really appreciate that. I know that there were some people that were complaining that they're not getting the notifications, and I apologize for that. YouTube, the way YouTube treats people nowadays is if you're not PewDiePie or Jake Paul, they kind of don't care. Um, I don't know what's up with them, but I will tweet if you do follow me at DarkCloud25 on Twitter or Taco and give them your handle. And
It's kind of the same as here talking Atari.
yeah, so yeah, definitely follow us. And every time that we go live or anytime we throw up a video, I will basically tweet out so that you guys get that notification because Twitter is actually good at notifying. But you got to make sure that you hit the notification bell and basically ask to be notified for everything. Because if you don't, Twitter, what's it called? YouTube kind of leaves you in the bottom runner. And on top of that, too, if you guys don't hit the like buttons, YouTube's algorithm just does not pay attention to people like us. We're kind of left down in the bottom. So definitely hit the like button Hit the share button. The more you share the video, YouTube thinks that it's something pretty awesome that's going on, and you guys get more notifications. But thanks, guys. We're almost at 200 subs. I would like to hit 500 before the December hits. Tell you what, if we hit 500 before the end of the year, I will record me and the missus doing Ring Fit live.
Oh my goodness!
Yay.
If Cloud hits 1,000 before the end, fly me there to be their ring fit coach.
Yeah, and we're not asking for a lot, and you guys do come through, and the views are I obviously there. We're a new channel. We're trying to be as ambitious, but we also have lives. And for all the people that just jumped in late, I've been on a spiritual movement, watching motivational speeches, reading books lately, just trying to, be a better man. Not for any particular person, just myself. So,
To throw out a quote there that might resonate with, if you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done.
hmm that is a fact.
Great.
Little words of wisdom to leave y'all with before we go ahead and end this one.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming through, man. Again, hit the like button, and thanks for coming through, people.